always felt alone. My whole life. For as long as I can remember. I don't know if I like it or if I'm just used to it. But I do know this. Being lonely does things to you. Feeling shit, bitter and angry all the time just eats away at you. What happened?
Cry of Fear is a story and survival horror game in which you play as a young man known simply as Simon Henriksen. After being the victim of a severe car accident, he becomes paralyzed from the waist down, causing him to lose hope in life. This results in Simon developing major depressive disorder. In Cry of Fear, several areas that Simon explores have plenty of significance related to his trauma and mental illness. Several notable figures, objects, and monsters also appear in Simon's journey, with each of these having their own importance to Simon's character. As we delve into the mind of Simon, we will begin to understand the root of his mental illness and the demons that he faces with his depressive disorder.
Did I pass out? Huh? Who's that?
Relax. I am not one of them.
Who are you then?
I'm nobody.
What?
You shouldn't be here. It's very dangerous.
Wait. Why are you wearing a gas mask?
Are you stupid or something? Do I look like I want to turn into one of them? I can't trust you. I don't know if you're real. Just leave me alone.
What the?
The Doctor is a character that appears incredibly early on and has a major significance to Simon. As a first person we've seen whilst traveling through a twisted city in Sweden, we see him as an individual who keeps himself mysterious and at first glance seems very untrustworthy. Throughout the story, he gives us simple instructions on how to survive, showing that he can be an incredibly helpful person. Yet, we see him cutting off the head of a corpse and later on sneaking into an abandoned asylum. These actions create distress in Simon, causing him to be unable to trust the Doctor. Even with these more than shady choices, we can still choose to trust him in a unique way. In the asylum, we can once again find the Doctor. He requests for us to find a handgun hidden in the building. As we hand him the pistol, we have chosen to put our trust in him. As we soon find out, the Doctor, known as Dr. Purnell, was our cognitive therapist. Handing him the handgun meant we chose to put our trust into his therapeutic exercises. The violent actions we see him take represent Simon's views on Dr. Purnell.
Do you want to know something?
Yes. Yes, I do. I want to know just what in the fuck is going on here. Is it about that doctor guy? In the gas mask?
Doctor? Simon, please. No, I mean about school.
Yeah? What?
Well, I don't know if you knew, but I always had a hard time at school. You were pretty much the only guy who was kind to me. I never said it, but I really want to thank you for making my life a little bit more bearable. cute guy, Simon.
Yeah. Yeah, you did have it pretty rough. Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess I helped you because I liked you. You were one of the prettiest girls at school, and I don't know, I guess I wanted to protect you. I don't love you, but I think I could if we got to know each other better. You're so beautiful, Sophie.
Why haven't you said anything?
I never had the courage. I mean, I wasn't exactly the toughest kid in school, was I? But now we're here alone, I feel stronger. I've always liked you, Sophie.
Oh, Simon, I don't know what to say. I always liked you too, but not in that way. I always thought that you were just a friend, nothing more. I'm sorry.
Oh, but oh, shit. Damn, so much stuff has happened lately. All this craziness, the darkness and the monsters. I think I'm going crazy. I'm so glad I found you.
I know. A lot of things have been going on lately.
Yeah, really. Was it you who tried to phone me, by the way?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you. To get away from it all.
Oh, but what? Out here?
No, away from everything. Away from all this.
What? What do you mean?
You know full well what I mean.
On the roof of an apartment building, we meet Sophie, a good friend of Simon. As they meet, they begin to have a short conversation about their personal lives. Their closeness is significant to Simon's character, as Sophie is seen as someone that Simon can rely on. It can also be thought that even though they are close, her speech patterns and pushing off Simon's talk about the monsters shows that she doesn't understand his pain.
Wait a sec, you mean all... No! No, no, no! Sophie, why did she... What the fuck? This isn't making any sense. Was it you who made her do it? Why? Why? You sick fuck!
The sudden suicide of Sophie represents the crumble of Simon and Sophie's friendship. After Simon was hit by the car, he spiraled even deeper into a depression, causing the friendship between him and Sophie to disappear. This summons the carcass, a monster that Simon has created with his own emotions, representing his guilt and anger towards himself. He should either pick between fighting off the horrid monster, showing that he has come to terms with the lost friendship, or run away in cowardice and let his emotions consume him. Many of the monsters present in Cry of Fear all have a significance to Simon in some way, shape, or form. They either relate to him and his situation, his depression, his real-world behavior, or how he is as a person. One monster that relates to Simon is the Flygare, or the Flyer in Swedish. It is a flying monster that is seen strapped to a bed, incapable of moving. This could most likely be an indication of Simon and his wheelchair, as he lacks mobility in his crippled state. The hostility of Flygare can also be relevant to Simon as he grows more and more insane in the real world. Another enemy seen in Cry of Fear is the Drowned. The Drowned can summon a suicidal influence in Simon, and if he doesn't resist, Simon will eventually fire a gun at his head, causing him to kill himself. It It is clear that Simon is not fond of his situation in the real world, causing suicidal influence to ponder in his mind as he battles off against his depression. Yet again related to Simon's depression is a monster called Taller. Its immense size is depicted as Simon's overwhelming depression, or the size of other people, as when he is in his wheelchair, Simon compares himself to others and their size. It shows an effective resistance against many weapons, showing the strength that the depression has on Simon. Although these terrifying creatures are deadly, the most important thing to note is that the adventure we take as Simon Henriksen is just a figment of the book that he wrote with Dr. Purnell and his therapeutic exercises. Each action that happens in the book represents a large turning point in Simon's life. Near the end of the story, we can fight against Book Simon, which is a being and a collection of Simon's thoughts and mental illness. If we are to defeat him, it represents being able to finally move on as a whole, and now being content with our situation of being in a wheelchair and moving past the accident. If we are to lose the fight with Book Simon, Simon succumbs to his depression, taking his own life in his apartment by firing a gun in his head.
I stopped myself from doing it, from committing suicide. But it didn't only leave me alive, it also left 2 police officers dead. I killed them. Shot them both. This was not supposed to happen. Doctors testified that I was having a psychosis, which means that my punishment won't be too hard for me to bear. I have to spend the rest of my life in a mental hospital, where nurses and doctors are taking care of me. They let me finish my book, and it has helped me a lot. I wrote a happy ending, just for myself. I feel better now. I am more at peace with myself, even though I'm still stuck in this wheelchair. But I accept that now. I can never forgive myself for shooting those 2 officers though. But I have so many supportive people around me now, so I think I will be okay. Dr. Purnell is mentoring me and is watching my progress. I am lucky to have him. Sophie visits me every once in a while. When the doctors let her, that is. They still think her visits are too destabilizing for me and that it hinders my progress. I keep on telling her how sorry I am for making her life miserable every time she's here. She just laughs a bit and tells me to stop being so silly. But I can see the damage I've done to her in her eyes every time she looks at me. She found a new friend, one who is there for her and treats her right. I'm happy for her, though I'll miss the good moments we've had, knowing that they'll never come back. I think this is a good time to close this book. It has changed my life forever. The end.